Okay, let's do it. Dispense sedative gas.
It would seem the erratic footsteps of my pacing delirious employees have ceased. So I presume the sedative worked. Please return for consultation at once. And do remember, unauthorized access to confidential Rizzo's information is a capital offense.
That's nice. But capital offense is my middle name. Okay, we probably still have the parasites to deal with. Maybe. So let's bear that in mind. New employee orientation. Welcome, insert name. We're happy to have you as the new mechanic, custodian at insert location. It is your responsibility to ensure your location of employment is tidy and works like a charm. Your duties include, but are not limited to, cleaning of all surfaces, regular maintenance of all machinery, restocking employee break areas, maintenance of all electronic systems, keeping inventory of the location's operational item reserves, voluntary assistance for the lab's research is needed, maintaining thorough documentation for your possible successor. We know that sounds like a lot, but don't worry. Your predecessor has kept thorough documentation for your needs that you can find on this terminal. We hope you're excited to begin this most fulfilling career, and remember, whoa, it's Rizzo's. File. How to be a janitor. Training file corrupted. Please guess how to do your job to the best of your ability. Logs. First day. I've gotten 17 requests from the lab workers that I had to respond to and also managed to find time to sweep, map, and buff this whole place. I was hoping that the employee how-to document would help with some of these machines that I've never seen before in my life, but guess what? The asshole left it completely blank. Gas hookup. I got a request from Dr. Blossom to hook up the gas lines to some canisters that are mixed with a heavy sedative for dispersal in the lower labs. Luckily I've got enough experience cleaning all the muck that builds up in the vents to get it all done in a couple of days. Still, I wonder what they're needing this for. I think they took the last of the Raptidons out of the lab last week. I guess the pheromone flavoring results weren't as promising as they'd hoped. Experiment participation. Jackpot. Since I read that stupid orientation document, I've been hoping they'd ask me to volunteer for something, and here it is. I get to be a taste tester for the newest Spectrum flavor. I'm heading to the lab right after I fix the clog in the showers. So exciting. Oh no, it knocked him out as well. Why didn't it affect us then? That's strange. Not sure I understand that. Maybe it only affects parasites. Since they had a parasite in them that kind of includes them. Please point something out if I miss it. It's a pretty big place.
Nicely done.
Thanks. Lab notes. Trial K08 has produced moderate results. The zero-calorie sweetener produces 36% of the amount of dopamine compared to popular cigarette brands. It is possible that this is as far as we can go without introducing substances that would categorize this as a tobacco product, and we're already towing the line as is. I'm interested in a trial with a larger set of subjects. However, our lab's resources are getting cut thanks to the new lab that's begun across the hall. Maybe we can offer it to our colleagues in the marketing lab. Show them a thing or two regarding proper science. Messages. To L. Blossom, Lab Resources. Dr. Blossom, I apologize, but I wouldn't be doing the team justice if I didn't question the budget cuts this lab has seen. We've had to shelve 3 products and we're losing 2 more researchers. Honestly, whatever's being developed in the lab across the hall better be more addictive than adrenatime. I'm curious what they were developing in there. Was it the parasites? To L. Blossom, Marketing Lab. Dr. Blossom, I apologize for our team's outburst at the product presentation. I assure you we didn't intentionally mean to scream in terror and assume the fetal position when Spectrum Brown and its slogan were unveiled. It has to be something the marketing lab did. For law's sake, they aren't even real scientists. From L. Blossom, stop immediately. I am sending this message to both teams in the marketing and product labs. I do not know the extent of your squabbles, but they end here. If it weren't for the incredible projections Spectrum Brown shows, we'd all be out of work after that embarrassment at the presentation. I expect more from both departments. Dr. Blossom. From L. Blossom, what in the architect's blue blazes is going on? Okay, I already read this one. There's also upstairs, which'll be interesting as well. So I guess this is the marketing place. Can't read that. Raptidon head anatomy. So what were they doing with raptidons then? The discrepancy amplifier hasn't triggered yet. Lab notes. Team, don't drink the coffee. I told Blossom we weren't crazy. Every single one of us began to have clinical insomnia and she tells us it's because we drink too much coffee. Well, it is because of the coffee, or more so what's in the coffee. I had the janitor swap out the coffee grinds an hour later than usual this morning and what do you know? I've been asleep all day. Those jerks in product have been messing with our supply. Don't ask me how, I just know it. They think they're so smart because they know how molecules work. Well, they aren't the only ones that can create a chemical dependency. I've got a Pavlovian prank in place for the Spectrum Brown presentation that'll cause quite the show. Must have given him hallucinogenics or something. Messages. To L. Blossom, Halcyon Helen. Dr. Blossom, we're thrilled to hear the news that Rizzo's secured Halcyon Helen as the spokesperson for the new Spectrum product. Our data shows she has favorable dispositions in many key categories including the coveted 18 to 34, regularly employed, existential crisis demographic. We'd be happy to show her some of our product advertisements ideas. And I've already read these last two. Okay. Is that one of the parasites? It kinda looks like a fish. But maybe it just looks that way because it's in liquid. Slug Lab. Lab notes. Our discovery. Finally finished our first set of experiments on those parasites we harvested from the infected would-be attraction animals, and the results have been, what the hell am I doing? Why am I taking this tone? Who's going to see this, aside from members of the research team? I barely need mention how beyond completely phenomenal today's find has been. Not only have we discovered why Harold, the system's saddest teacup canid, had his remarkable turnaround. Frankly, I'm amazed no one realized something was awry earlier. His cage was only about as large as he was. By the way, Myers, there goes your daily adreno injections theory, you buffoon. But we've also found something that will find me to a vice presidential position in no time. Remind me to devote a bench commemorating the Rizzo's semi-industrial exploration team for giving their lives to bring back the Eridanium gigaseus from the holy caves. I'll also be certain to devote an even larger bench to myself for finding the birth site of the parasites and ordering experiments to start. I've already been in talks with management about ideas for products that could utilize the parasite's joy-intensifying hormones. It's amazing that Slug hasn't looked deeper into this. We may have had to seed in the land, but seemingly they haven't disturbed our research site. Well, their oversight is Rizzo's immense benefit. Great job, me, Dr. Blossom. Today's incident. I'm sure some of you are still shaken by the events earlier today, but the course of science never did run smooth. The benefits of our research are easily worth the potential risks associated. Garcia would most certainly agree, if she were still alive. I've talked to Administrator Ludovico about setting up some additional security measures in case of another test subject breach. In the meantime, for the love of the architect, do not infect an individual test subject with more than one parasite. The frenetic joy will have to be enough, at least for now. I'm still looking into promotional means, but I think we'll find something soon. Some Rizzo's product engineers have discussed mass-producing the parasites and placing them in some kind of beverage, to evenly distribute the joy-inducing hormones. Things still seem very promising. I look forward to the day when I can leave this backwater facility behind. Gas and test subjects. Blossom requested, demanded, we help the engineering team produce a gas that would target the neural links of individuals infected by Eridanium gigaseus. Ah, so that's why it didn't affect us. Well, we did, and it was simple enough, just isolated a particular cell type only found in the parasites and produced an enzyme that should shock them temporarily into stasis. But you better believe the second it came time to tell the administrator about it, she was the one who had developed the gas, and she was the one who had been primarily working with engineering to get everything together. She takes credit for the initial finding, and even after Dr. Garcia's death, which was basically all Dr. Blossom's fault, she still somehow manages to find a way to spin things in her favor. Some of the other researchers were talking about altering the gas not to target test subjects, but to target her, and for it not to render its target unconscious but dead. I wouldn't write this down, but I know Dr. Blossom doesn't read log entries that she didn't write. Tell you, their ideas are beginning to seem more and more appealing. Blimey. Messages. To Department Utility, Cadaver Removal. At your earliest convenience, the Slug Lab requires your sanitation services for cadaver removal. There are 2 bodies at present in the RR&DD labs, 1 scientist and 1 test subject. Send a team to move the personnel corpse to the incinerator. After this, please send a hazard team to dispose of the test subject. For highly classified reasons, the corpse can emit certain chemical compounds that are extremely dangerous if mishandled. Please don't skimp on the protective gear. We'd hate to have to hire a separate utility team to pick up the bodies of yours. Good day. And I've read this one. Gosh. I should probably be more shocked, but I mean. We're in Halcyon. They're a corporation. What the hell else are they gonna do? Look at the face on him. Hee. Gross. Don't touch any of this stuff, guys. I don't think that would be a good idea. There weren't any terminals in here, were there? Don't think so. That doesn't look openable. This is disgusting. I'll take that. I guess we'll go upstairs then.
Just who in the... Oh my law. It's you. Wait. What do you think you are?
What?
We better hurry, Captain.
Yeah? Hurry where exactly? Okay, hang on. What if I've missed something?
How'd you do that so fast?
Skill. Grr, if she's dead, she's not gonna be able to answer my questions. Can I open this one? Yes. Okay, let's look in here in a sec. We should probably go and check on her.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
That's nice.
Just when we were gonna get some answers.
Sigh.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Okay. That's very annoying. How was she even shot? Did she open this door? Or did someone else open it? How annoying.
Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
True. You're sure you heard gunshots earlier, yet this victim's loss of blood is oddly minimal.
These puncture marks. It looks like she was injected with something.
Syringe gun, maybe? Although you distinctly remember hearing gunshots over the intercom, you don't see any bullet casings. Whoever Dr. Blossom confronted over the intercom, they dispatched her and all 4 of these scientists without much resistance. Means they must be well trained, some kind of sharpshooter or adventurer.
What an awful place to die. What do you think happened to her?
Strange. I heard gunshots over the intercom, but don't see any casings.
I remember those gunshots. Energy weapons don't sound that way. The killer must have been using something exotic.
I'm betting syringe gun. I'll look at the terminals in a minute.
Timeline is the organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
Yeah.
Timeline discrepancy detected. The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
Is there something else here? No? Laboratory outfit. Splash resistant. I don't want that. Anything else? Okay, let's read the terminals. Welcome, Dr. Blossom. View download confirmation. File, error file deleted, was successfully downloaded to external data cartridge. So they downloaded something, and deleted it from the system. From Administrator Ludovico, Halcyon Helen's lab tour. Apologies for the late notice, but Ms. Bellamy has requested a tour of the facilities while she is visiting Eridanos as Halcyon Helen. Please prepare for her arrival in the morning. From L. Blossom, note to self. Well, Leora, you did it again. At long last, you located a bottle of Spectrum Black hidden in a crevice of musty shelf space in the storage warehouse last night. That much closer to finally getting the Spectrum Gatling to work. And what happened? You got all the way back to the water tower before running into a group of primals already diverting themselves with fruits of the fermented variety. One bad blackout later and here you are, covered in primal vomit without the Spectrum Black. Get it together. I'm sorry, the Spectrum Gatling. And this is what I read before. Files. File deleted. Okay. Parasite findings. Tests involving the parasite Eridanium gigaseus, colloquially dubbed slugs, have produced astounding results, even when compared against our most promising methods of producing a brain chemical dependency. The pheromone the Eridanium gigaseus secretes produces dopamine more efficiently than anything on record. Further tests will continue researching how much of the compound we can introduce to subjects and observe the effects. Despite our less than ideal presentation to administration, the product impressed for two main reasons. As mentioned before, this product will produce that boozy, feel-good stimulus like no other, but more importantly, the pheromone's makeup is completely unique, which means there are no regulations surrounding its classification. The idea of a completely addictive product with zero laws surrounding it would certainly justify any means. Oh yes, absolutely, obviously.
Don't they realize this just makes us more curious about that data file?
Where are you? Yeah. Spectrum Gatling Terminal. All core systems operative. Weapon requires loaded Spectrum Vodka array to be functional. Spectrum Vodkas deposited. 0 out of 8. Interesting. The Gatling taunts me from behind its glass cage. The infernal void damn thing refuses to work, and I know the exact cause. It's me. Why am I wired like this? Why, whenever I tried to fiddle with the internals sober I broke parts off, or connections failed to fire, or pieces stuck out of the casing and shorted out other components. So of course, the solution was obvious. Get at least a little plastered prior to the work period, every work period. When I'm relaxed, my hands don't shake and it's so much easier to see where things should fit or how to bridge certain connections. The problem, of course, is that I also get artistic. Why should a weapon work on mechanics alone? Why shouldn't you have to, say, slot one of every single fucking kind of Spectrum vodka into the thing before it will fire for the first time? I don't even know if it's tied to the weapon's internals or if it's some kind of lock, but it seems like it should fire and absolutely will not. I have to get one of every kind of Spectrum, including black. I can only hope the storage warehouse has had a recent shipment of the entire Spectrum, or all this work will have been for nothing. I have to be the dumbest genius this side of Halcyon. L. Blossom. Error. Not all Spectrum flavors are present. Yeah, I see. I want that. Yes, I do. Yes, I indeedly do. Where do you insert them? Do I have any of those? I guess they would be in here. I don't really have much of anything. I sold a bunch of stuff recently. Okay, I'm not totally sure how that works, but I'll bear that in mind. There was a discrepancy in here, right?
Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here, mere moments earlier in the timeline.
Wait, really? It looks like a standard ventilation shaft. The dimensions would fit a small framed person, allowing them to enter here.
Looks like a standard ventilation shaft to me. Somebody around my size could have crawled in. Wouldn't have been comfortable or, clean. Ventilation shafts usually turn into sprat nests.
You see a cut red wire. Likely, you think, it could have disrupted one of the circuits. Perhaps on the door lock regulation system. Oh, sorry Parvati, I interrupted you. See that red wire? Whoever cut that wire was trying to disrupt the circuit. They could have sealed the lab doors temporarily. At least until the failsafes kicked in. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't look in her office. Wait, where's this? Oh, okay. Spectrum Vodka Violet. Need that. Who ate my lunch? Wasn't me. Don't need that. Okay, there isn't really much in here then. Just the safe. I don't want that stuff. I think we're done here then. Gosh. Not quite what I was expecting was gonna happen in here. But okay then. So, you found evidence that a certain research file was downloaded to a data cartridge, then deleted from the terminal. Administrator Ludovico will want to hear the results of your investigation. Not going to the wilderness place yet. Or to that. And I'm gonna be looking for the spectrums just as I go.
Attention all personnel. Unscheduled pollinization cycle is about to commence. Please evacuate
Are you
your
kidding
troops
me?
at this time. Releasing the waspitos for pollinization. Cycle is now in progress.
That's not good.
Do you hear buzzing?
Yes, I do hear buzzing. Oh boy. Let's just make our way, nice and calm, to the exit.
They got the drop on us.
Crap. Yeah, you let them get too close. Are they gonna charge us in damages for this?
Did you know that waspitos will persistently change us?
Okay,
That's the last of him.
for now it is. No thank you. Should we go and disable them? Wait. Ellie, what the hell? Okay. The person who killed Blossom. Do you think they released the waspitos? To like slow us down or something? Where are they? Oh my gosh, there's loads of them.
Have results caused only more confusion before death. So if you cannot understand this message, that may be why.
Okay. And now they're coming to me. Great. I reckon we need to get to the hive.
In the event you become trapped in a space with one or more waspitos, try standing still. Just kidding. You die long before a waspito grew tired of stinging you.
The door's open. Ow. We got this. We're not out of this yet.
Did you know that mosquitoes will persistently chase an opponent for miles on end?
Okay, get in.
At Rizzo's, we value the dogged work ethic these noble insects display.
I can't close it. Bloody hell. Okay, there's a terminal. And I just stole something. Right. Warning. A pollinization cycle is currently in progress. Abort the pollinization cycle. Pollinization cycle cancelled. Recalling mosquito swarms to the hive. Check recent activity. The last activity recorded exceeds this system's 2-week threshold, and has since been purged. Oh, that's great. Messages. Greetings. Error. Token not found. Your credentials are out of date or never existed. Displaying only outgoing messages. To H. Lawson. Real funny. Hilda. Generally when two co-workers get blasted out of their minds on Spectrum vodka, and one of them makes a joke about how wild it would be if someone put wasps and mosquitoes together, he doesn't wake up the next day with a promotion and a couple 100,000 rabid insects on his back porch. I can appreciate a good joke as much as the next guy, but I got a message earlier today about making sure I increase quarterly yields, and it wasn't from you. If you wanted to, I don't know, bail me out sooner rather than later, I'd be most obliged. Morris. To H. Lawson, bail me out. Hilda. I'll put it bluntly. This place is one bad key press away from total disaster. Earlier today I accidentally selected the begin pollinization cycle function on this terminal. The cycle just activated, no password protection, no confirmation message, nothing. As it so happened, there was a scheduled tour making its way through the orchards at about that moment. Somehow that idiot groundskeeper's exterminator mechanicals got activated, giving the waspquitos something to sting that wasn't the tour group. Those people barely got away with their lives, and I don't think we'll be so lucky next time. My supervisor has apparently scheduled me for some kind of standard medical treatment, but when I come back I better have a message from you apologizing for not responding to my messages and containing an immediate transfer to somewhere that isn't here. I've had enough. Morris. To H. Lawson, apology. Hilda. I reread my last message to you and feel I owe you the deepest and most heartfelt of apologies. I have been such an entitled bore since I received this promotion. In reality, I should have been thanking you. To oversee the day-to-day coming and going of creatures as majestic as these waspquitos is a great honor. Congratulations on your promotion by the by. I would have thought I'd be mad, especially considering how central my waspquitos were to your new position, but since that treatment I found it difficult to stay mad about much of anything. I hope you enjoy Byzantium. Well, okay. They should be returning to their hives. Yeah, I think whoever this person is trying to sabotage us. And if they're getting secrets they don't want anyone else to have, I think we need to be prepared that they're gonna want us killed as well. I really need to talk to Lou about getting us some hazard pay.
On the outer worlds of the outer worlds, there's a place that's full of cheer. You'll see happy wings, thanks to Rizzo's drinks. There is nothing here to